We have a trader who turned just $500 into $51,000 in one day. Someone is down by more than $700,000. And we have a trader who made two insane trades and is now up by more than $250,000. And we are starting off with an insane gain by Wolf960. He turned $3,000 into $51,000 by inversing WallStreetBets. As we can see today, he's up by more than 1400% or around 47k, and his chart looks quite beautiful, rising extremely exponentially. And he was up by so much because he bought SPY call options with a striking price at $413 and an expiration date on Friday. And of course, in his genius, he decided to hold his gain. And well, SPY stopped going up after Wednesday and it closed below his striking price, so his insane gain just turned into a loss. And that's why it's better to follow a basic rule: if it's good enough to screenshot, it's good enough to sell. And the funniest part is that he hasn't responded to anyone in the comments. And if you're not already subscribed, it would mean a ton to me if you just press that button. It's free and it will help me out a lot in reaching my goal of 400 subscribers. Thank you. Anyway, next up we have a huge loss by Marky Marcos 25. TDA accidentally deposited money in my account 8 months ago. They just realized and now I owe them $20,000. And as we can see, his account value is negative $19,850.44. And today he's down by 144% or $64,897.85. He also spent an hour on the phone with them, and the person he talked to was pretty rude and said he needs to pay it all back as soon as possible or they'll send it to debt collection. And the funniest part is that he didn't even realize it wasn't his money. He never would have thought someone else's money went into his account. He just continued making random trades and stuff. Damn, just feels bad. I remember when I was in elementary school playing kickball and I tore my pants open and my came flopping out. Now that's an accident. Most helpful WallStreetBets commenter. So you traded and lost your money, and there's WallStreetBet at its finest. If you owe the bank 2k, that's your problem. If you owe the bank 20k, that's still your problem. There are people who get liquidated, and then there are people who not only get liquidated but also owe money to brokers. This is a level of degeneracy we haven't seen in a minute. Bravo. Next up we have an insane gain by Han YOLO Swag. $500 to $51,100. He's up by so much because he bought 100 SPX weekly call options with a striking price at $4,075 and 0 days till expiration. On the screenshot, he's up by almost 5,000% or $29,898. So screenshot isn't showing the full amount, since the jump happened in the last minute before close. He snagged this at 5 cents for a $500 YOLO, and they're in the money for a 50k profit. And with SPX it has a European style cash settlement, so if it closes in the money you get assigned and they just pay you out the cash difference between your strike and the closing price. And the most insane part is that it went from $1,500 to $50,000 in just 5 minutes. Just congrats on an incredibly lucky YOLO. Next we have an insane loss by Stock Astro. He owns 13,000 shares of Alibaba, and when the stock jumped up by 10%, his account jumped up by around 99k, but since open he's down by $738,592.66, and luckily for him that's only 40% of his money. His cost basis is at $444.32, and his financial strategy was pretty straightforward. He bought the dip, and then it dipped, so he bought more, but then it dipped again, so he bought that dip, but then it dipped again. He also sells covered calls in batches just to try to make a little each week. Not too aggressive, as he doesn't want to get called out on a rally. And aside from Alibaba, he also has 30,000 shares of IQ. Well, I hope he recovers from this huge loss. I mean, he didn't sell yet, so technically it's not yet a loss. Anyway, next up we have another insane gain by CVLOL. This play started on Friday, November the 25th, when he bought 190 SPY put options with a striking price at $403 and an expiration date on Monday, November the 28th. He bought those options for $1 $1.75 and he sold them for $3.76 each, getting his account all the way up to $90,211.75. So he pretty much turned around 30k to 90k over the weekend. But if that trade turned sour, that Monday would have been a hell of a lot worse. And in his own words, this was pure gambling, as he's trying to make WallStreetBets great again. Next we have a huge gain by Awesome Dan 24, who is slowly but surely on himself. As you can see, he started off with around $87,000 and he was able to increase it to $145,557.89. But just when he hit that number, his account steeply fell, erasing all the gains and more. His account even dropped to as low as $76,964.87. But then he slowly and consistently increased his account value back up to $117,109.94. He was mainly doing quick scalps and swings of leveraged inverse QQQ and VIX ETFs. He's always struggled with risk management. He was up around 70% year to date in June, then wiped it all out by holding onto his short positions into the summer rally. Now he's trying to be a bit better at managing risk with stop losses and taking profits quickly. And he likes triple leveraged ETFs more than options because he finds them more straightforward, as he doesn't need to worry about IV, theta, etc. Plus he doesn't run any risk of worthless expiration. But these triple leveraged ETFs can be brutal, and they're constantly reverse splitting, causing them to decay rapidly, so you have to get in and out quickly. He'll typically wait for SPY to get to the top or bottom of its current range before making a move. Let's say it's been bouncing between $370 and $390. He won't get in at $380, he'll either go long at $370 with a tight stop below or short at $390 with a tight stop above. And he's trying to stay away from binary events such as interest rate announcements, inflation data, etc. because he considers that to be pure gambling. They say you can't beat the market, but I've beaten SPY by around 50% year to date, and I'm just getting started. Famous last words. But hey, I wish him good luck. And here we go, he himself today. Next up we have a huge loss by PVS88. 90k loss wrecked my portfolio on Netflix and Moderna weekly options. I was up around 20k, then turned red. Can I get a refund? Got my Christmas present early. I'm so done with the stock market. He's down by so much because he bought 200 Netflix put options with a striking price at $272.50 and 80 Moderna call options with a striking price at $195. And unfortunately he's down by more than 99% on both of them, and in total he's down by $90,959.04 and is left with $100. The worst part about it is that these two option strategies represent 90% of his whole account, so he lost almost everything on two plays. And I just don't get it, why would you bet 90% of your account on weekly options of just two stocks? I mean, to do something like that you must truly believe you're right and be prepared to lose it all if you're wrong. But still feels bad, and I hope he somehow recovers. Anyway, next we have a huge gain by Loin1210. Well, I told you, easy. Print some money. As we can see, he's up by $156,106.75 and his account is now worth around 224k. He's up by so much because he bought Xpank call options with a striking price at $11, $12 and $15 and an expiration date on December the 9th. And in his opinion, the stock market isn't about due diligence, it's about manipulation and psychology. The reason why he entered is that majority of people would assume that China stock is a pump and dump scheme. Since it has options, the recent surge attracted many traders to buy puts, as they assume it will plunge back down. Well, all of you traders have been well manipulated. Therefore, he didn't do any due diligence, but knew this is going to happen. This must be one of the craziest reasons to enter a trade, but hey, if it works for him, great. And he already sold the calls with a striking price at $11 and $12 and went all in on calls with a striking price at $15 for the next week's rally. When you're right, it's because you're a genius and knew all along. When you're wrong, it's market manipulation and insider trading. And last but not least, we have another huge gain by Mana Hosanna. He bought more of ET stock when the price dropped. He's up by more than 100% or $144,792.90 and he's up by so much because he bought 900 call options on Energy Transfer, with a striking price at $10 and an expiration date on January the 19th of 2024. And he believes the stock is still undervalued, so he isn't selling. The most amazing part is that this guy didn't just make one huge gain, he made two. He is also thankful for Geo stock. On this play he's up by more than 160% or $109,349.94 in total. And he's up by so much because he bought 600 call options on Geo Group with a striking price at $10 and an expiration date on January the 19th of 2024. He's also not selling this trade because he believes it's still undervalued and he wants that long-term capital gains tax rate. Well, huge respects to him for sticking to his plan, and hopefully those stocks do rise. And if you want to see how this trader lost 10 years of his savings, click on the video that just popped up. And if that is not enough, smash that subscribe button as you'll help me out a lot in reaching my goal of 400 subscribers. If you have any questions or recommendations, leave them in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.